This whole thing kicks off with a 12-year-old girl bawling her eyes out outside a candy store just because her idol tweeted about her. That little girl, Madison Beer. And the idol? None other than Justin Bieber. But what she didn't know back then was that one tweet wasn't just a fan moment. It was the beginning of a wild ride that would turn her into a global name. Yeah, she got fame, followers, and the spotlight. But behind all that glitter, things were messy. Madison got hit with strict industry control, early overexposure, and the cold reality of being isolated while grown men molded her image. And right in the middle of it all, Justin Bieber, the same dude who gave her that shot at stardom, but who also may have blurred some serious boundaries. And here's the twist. Madison didn't call him out. She protected him. Year after year, she stood by his side, carrying his reputation on her back like it was her own legacy. But before it all flipped upside down, we gotta rewind. Let's take it back, way back. In 2012, Madison was just a kid uploading singing covers on YouTube. Sound familiar? Kinda like how Justin blew up back in 2008 when Scooter Braun found him. Madison had braces, posters of Bieber all over her wall, and even had his songs as her ringtone. She was just a regular kid.
Nicole called me and was like, "What's going on? Did you see Justin Bieber's tweet?" And I was like, "About what?" She was like, "You?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And like, I freaked out and I hung up the phone. I was like hysterically crying outside of a candy store with my mom in the car. And I was like, "What's happening?" And we were going crazy.
But deep down, her biggest dream was to meet Justin Bieber one day. And wow, she got way more than she bargained for. So get this, out of nowhere, Madison caught Justin Bieber's eye when he tweeted not one but 3 of her singing covers. That single moment blew up her entire life overnight. One cosign from Bieber, and she was on her way to the top. But right when the world thought her dreams were coming true, things behind the scenes started getting messy. See, Justin wasn't just showing love as a fan. He was 19, crazy famous, rich, and already a global icon. Meanwhile, Madison was just 12, still in middle school, just a kid. And right after that tweet, Justin didn't waste time. He signed her to his label personally, and Scooter Braun stepped in as her manager. That meant they were all under one system, same label, same power players. And that made Justin more than just a supporter. He became her boss. At first, Madison was over the moon. She was thankful, excited, and thought this was her big shot. But looking back, it hits way different. Because the moment she got signed, her career didn't explode. It actually slowed down. Why? Her team decided she wasn't ready. But let's be real. By team, we're talking about grown men making decisions about a young girl's image. At just 14, Madison was being evaluated like a product. And in her own words, she once said, "There was a conversation around me when I was 14. I remember people being like, 'Too sexy. We can't sell the sex because she's so young. We have to wait.'" Just think about that. Grown men discussing a child like that behind closed doors. Even with all that, Madison never publicly turned on Justin. In fact, she's always praised him. She once said they'll always have a bond, and she still uses the advice he gave her. But that deep connection, despite the age gap, definitely raises some eyebrows now. In one interview, Madison said they'll always have a bond. She mentioned she still uses the tools Justin gave her, the advice, the skills, everything. She even called him incredible every step of the way. But now, fans are starting to look at it differently. People are asking, was it really mentorship or was it power? Because when a mega celebrity like Justin plucks a 12-year-old girl off YouTube, signs her, manages her, and basically becomes her entire brand, that's not just helping out. That's full-on control over her image, her confidence, and her entire future. And here's where things get even murkier. For years, they stayed tight.
He's great. It's awesome that I get to have somebody who I've literally looked up to my whole childhood as my mentor. It's really cool.
Real tight, almost too close. But when it came to business, Madison once said Justin didn't have much time for her because he was focused on his own career. So if he was always too busy, why was he reviewing her songs before they got released? Why was his opinion the final word on her projects? Why did she only drop music that he gave the green light to? That's not guidance, that's control. And it seriously held her back, according to some fans. And here's the part nobody can explain. Madison's always tried to downplay how close they were. But then, how do you explain all the paparazzi photos? The two of them hanging out on random hikes, looking real cozy? Something about it just doesn't sit right with people now. The late night food runs, the random public hangouts, It all started looking more like a situationship than any kind of mentorship. And who could forget that one infamous moment? Paparazzi caught Madison and Justin holding hands on a hiking trail, way too cozy for a mentor and mentee. Then out of nowhere, Justin ran off the moment cameras popped up, leaving Madison standing there, looking awkward and totally embarrassed. And let's be real, he's done that same disappearing act with Hailey so many times since day one. But hold up, it gets even messier. A 2017 blind item dropped a bomb, claiming Madison wasn't sticking around for music or mentorship. Nope, she was allegedly being paid just to be there. No collabs, no writing sessions, just to keep him company like some kind of babysitter. Yeah, seriously. And if you're thinking this sounds like wild tabloid talk, let's look at the timeline. Madison got signed in 2012 and stayed until 2015. In those 3 years, she only dropped 2 official singles, Melodies and Unbreakable. She did a collab with Monster High and posted a remix of Valentine with Cody Simpson on YouTube, which barely even made it to Disney Radio. Nothing hit streaming platforms. So less than 5 music releases in 3 years? That's no rollout. That's a red flag. It's no wonder folks started saying she was being used as a prop, just there for the image, not the music. And the most shocking part? Rumors say she was getting up to $10,000 a week just to stay by Justin's side, keep him calm, and help protect the brand. And guess who was cutting those checks? Allegedly, Justin's own team. At this point, Madison wasn't even acting like a girlfriend. She looked more like his handler. And let's not forget, this was during Justin's chaotic phase. He was spiraling hard, always in the news for wild behavior, caught in messy headlines, and juggling nonstop drama with Selena Gomez right before getting with Hailey. He was constantly breaking down, and everything around him felt like a storm. And here's what people are saying now. Justin doesn't really deal with his problems. He just latches on to whoever's nearby.
Say her happy birthday, because it's a really special day for her. What do you think? All right? Happy birthday to you.
Whether it was Madison then or Hailey later, he leans on others instead of facing his demons. People have said for years that Hailey's the only reason that marriage held together as long as it did. But now, the streets are saying she's done being the one holding it all together. And you've seen it, Justin's been all over the place lately. Still refusing therapy, still in denial. Not too long ago, he even went on a rant on Instagram, clapping back at fans who were begging him to get help. Instead of listening, he tried to shut the whole convo down. And don't think Madison was untouched by all this. Fans once dragged her through the mud, blaming her for breaking up Justin and Selena back in 2018. While Justin stayed quiet, Madison had to come out herself and say, "He's like a big brother to me," adding that she would never date him. Not in a million years. But here's where it gets suspicious. If that 2017 blind item had any truth to it, it actually makes sense that Justin's team would have paid Madison big money just to keep him balanced. And even back then, Madison kept telling everyone that Justin was in a good place. Now fans are starting to think, was she just covering for him the whole time? At this point, it felt more like a PR move than anything real. Madison was most likely being coached on how to present Justin as stable, even when he clearly wasn't. And let's not forget, she was just 17. Meanwhile, Justin kept doing these over-the-top gestures that had people convinced they were a couple. Like that one time, he brought her on stage to sing Happy Birthday and made it all look super sweet in front of a screaming crowd. But behind the scenes, that power imbalance was screaming louder than the fans ever could. Still, the moment that really shook people was when a Reddit post popped up, claiming that Madison and Justin were more than just friends back in 2014. According to the post, things between them got physical. At that time, Justin was 20 and Madison was just 15. Neither of them addressed the claims directly, but the body language in old pics said plenty, especially that one shot of him touching her in the studio, taken just before she turned 15. And if that's not alarming enough, around that same time, Justin also flew out Sophia Richie, who was a teen too, to another country where the age of consent was lower. Coincidence? Doesn't look like one. People are calling it a pattern. And let's be real, we all know who he likely picked that habit up from. Now, here's where it gets even more disturbing. Justin once posted a photo of Madison with the caption, "My friend Madison Beer has a bigger nose than me. Who agrees?" From the way that pic was angled, folks said it looked like she was literally laying in bed. And this wasn't just some one-time joke. He kept clowning her nose over and over. It went from playful to straight up humiliation. And that right there is a pattern that Hailey knows way too well. Justin always finds a way to disrespect the women closest to him. As one fan put it best, him constantly mocking her nose makes it real easy to understand why women like Madison end up going under the knife. Let's not forget, Madison once opened up about how being too pretty made her a target. She said it started way back when she was just 14, even before her debut. And here's Justin, one of the most famous guys on the planet, mocking her looks in front of millions. That's not cool at all. It really felt like Madison got trapped in a role she never asked for, hoping one day Justin would back her music for real. But that support, it never came, just empty promises. And who remembers when Madison moved to LA at just 16? She was living alone in a city that chews girls up and spits them out. No security, no parent checking in, no curfew, just her trying to survive in a cutthroat industry. And as wild as that sounds, the scariest part wasn't even being a teen living solo. It was navigating shady producers, nonstop press, and all the behind-the-scenes pressure most people don't even see. And that's the truth nobody really talks about. People are finally starting to call it what it really was, a setup, because Hollywood loves to dress up isolation and call it independence, when really, it's just a trap that costs young girls everything. Just look at Madison's story. If Justin truly cared about protecting her, why was she the one out here trying to protect him? That's the twist nobody saw coming. And here's where it gets even crazier. Word on the street is that Hailey knew about all of this because she officially got with Justin in 2015, right when Madison was still caught up in the middle of it all. Hailey might have never called Madison out directly, but here's the thing. They do follow each other on IG. Still, fans are clocking the fact that Justin keeps popping up in Madison's comments, especially on her birthday, and they're starting to wonder how Hailey really feels about all that. One thing about Justin, he'll hype up every beautiful woman online except his own wife, unless he's clowning her. That part's not sitting right with a lot of people. Now, earlier this year, Madison finally broke her silence and gave her take on where things stand with Justin and Hailey. She said, "I love Justin and Hailey Bieber very much. I was with them recently, and we were like, how special that we've known each other for so long. I've known Hailey since I was 10, and I've known Justin since I was 12. We are still in each other's lives, and now they're married with a baby. So yeah, looks like Madison's riding for Justin no matter what. But not everyone is keeping quiet like her. People are speaking up and calling it how they see it. One fan wrote, "I've been saying this. The reason Justin doesn't speak out is because he's done bad things himself." Another added, "Justin seems to have a relationship with everyone except his own wife. Yikes." And then came the comment that shook folks. Usually the abused becomes the abuser. And let's be real, what would a Justin Bieber story be without Selena Gomez popping up somewhere in the mix? One person said it loud and clear, Selena is so lucky she got out of this scary mess. And maybe that's the real headline here. It's not just about what Justin did, it's about who kept quiet and why. If you made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below, and I'll catch you on the next one.